How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of a Suarez up in this piece in the form of their Stand to Reason. Yeah, this would be a smoked lager. This was canned, 10/14. Today is 10/20. So this comes courtesy of my boy Keith. If you don't know who Keith is, he is a eternal provider of beer to the channel. He started his own channel called 93 Lumber. Type that in the old search bar, you'll find him, but spell it out. And he went up to Suarez about a week and a half ago, and he brought back a bunch of lager and a bunch of good, delicious stuff. And then the day after he got back, they said, hey, we're releasing a smoked lager. And he goes, I guess I have to go back. So he went back 2 weeks in a row. Here we go. It's Suarez's smoked lager. Should I review it? I don't have to review it. If this is not good, that would be weird. I'm just really curious to see at what level of smoke they go with this. Because what Suarez does is low ABV beers, more specifically, mostly low ABV lager. They don't actually give you the ABV on here, but it has to be sub 6, if not sub 5. And label-wise, it's pretty much what they do when they do all the lagers. A little bit of flair to it. Excuse me, sorry. And that just, I don't know, something about it looks a little, just a skosh different. Not sure what the variance is, but anyway, that does look like a smoked lager. But like I said, their beers can be very kind of weird in that their small beers come off big, their big beers come off small. And by big beers, I mean 6% beers, if not lower. So I'm just curious to see how smoky they go in this. A little bit of soft, kind of khaki-colored, tight, kind of 1/16 of an inch kind of head to it, and that soft little brown kind of hue to it. It's relatively clear. You probably can't make it out on camera, but it's relatively clear. This thing makes me want to sneeze. I don't know why. There we go. So, no, I'm still going to sneeze. Anyway, but yeah, she looks like a soft little brown ale. Little Schwarz beer. Little dunkel action going on there. Let's get a nose. I mean, there's smoke there, but it's very, very subtle. It's more of a charry chocolatey smoke, almost like a barrel char kind of smoke, as opposed to just a big, huge Rosh beer kind of beef jerky level kind of smoke. I mean, it does have this kind of charry barrel to it, this charry caramel chocolate barrel to it. It's not overtly sweet, it's not overtly confectionery, but it leans in that direction to where it's a toasted chocolate cocoa kind of smoke, like a campfire s'moresy, what was left on your stick kind of smoke, as opposed to a big hot steaming plate of pierogi and kielbasi kind of smokiness, for the lack of more adjectives. It smells nice. Smells rich, smells like fall, smells like a pretty hearty beer. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, that's smoked beer in the most drinkable of versions, because it is a smoked beer. There's a soft little subtle smoked malt to it, but that malt definitely comes off more, like I said, s'more campfire like, as opposed to kind of cured and salted beef kind of stuff. When you get into your Ankler Schleckler kind of smoked beers, Rosh beers, those beers really do lean heavily into bologna, kielbasi, those kind of things. You're not getting that level of smoke here. What you're getting is this nice, soft, toasted, and I keep wanting to lean into the campfire. That's the way it works for me. But since there is that little dollop of kind of creamy, kind of lactose vibes to it, in combination with that chocolate, in combination with that greenness, it definitely gives me kind of s'moresy vibes. In the sense, like I said previously, like you actually cooked the s'more in a stick, took it off, you ate it, and then you just let the stick kind of sit above the fire and kind of toast away a little bit to where you have this more predominantly kind of wood, chicory kind of smokiness, these subtle kind of lactose and kind of chocolate kind of characteristics go along with it, as opposed to that kind of old school kind of cured beef kind of smokiness. I like this. That's where I like my smoke to really go. I love me some Rosh beer. I do really dig on the Ankler Schleckler beers and those kind of beers of those ilk. But I also like drinkable. I also like chuggable. So you're getting that subtle smoke here. You're getting a nice chocolate component, a little touch of caramel. There is actually this nice kind of bittery on the back end too. It's mostly a tea-like kind of tannic thing. It's more kind of uber traditional, but there is a little pop to it in the back end, so that's kind of fun. super clean beer for as much as a smoked lager can be, because while it drinks crisp and clean, it's still a smoked beer. It's still a kind of roasted chocolate malt forward beer, so there is a bit of heft to it. So kind of a little oxymoron when it comes to the cleanliness, but it is a lager through and through. And just a super tasty, chuggable beer. Like, this is the beer that I wish I had a case of, and by that I mean I wish I had most awesome beers I had a case of. And by the way, this is awesome. Now, you know, I find myself falling into these kind of routine of when I drink beer, I go through patterns. My pattern right now is, you know, lager, pale ale, hazy, you know, maybe a stout. One stout. I'm not going to continue that cycle, but then I kind of circle back and go lager, you know, lager, pale ale, and then lager, pale ale, maybe another hazy. And I lack these kind of richer, bolder kind of beers. And beers like this, I wish you can get cases of. There are some beers that fit this role for me, albeit not smoked beers. You know, your kind of anchor porters of the world, your lower ABV, 5-6% porters and Schwarz beer and darker beers. I like to have those in the mix. And this is one of those perfect examples of that, because it'll show regardless of how big a beer you drink before it. Yeah, maybe if you drank like 11% smoked Doppelbock with fucking cupcakes and doubloons in it or some shit like that, it might not come off like this, but it's still hefty enough to kind of show its way, and especially if you're going in that lower ABV, kind of lighter pale pattern. So that's where this one kind of lands for me. Absolutely tasty, absolutely delicious, and just a freaking amazing beer. Yeah, let's talk about it. One of the better smoked beers I've had as of late. Yes, I mean, I haven't had a ton, but this is definitely up there. Mount Rushmore status, mind you. Value and availability, no idea. Oh, $16 a 4-pack right now. That's how it rolls, right, Keith? And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like, you know, lightly smoked beers, you're not going to get a huge smoke component off it. Think of your Enkler Schleckler Marzen, but make that with more of a kind of Schwarz beer kind of vibe to it. That's what you're getting here. It's not going to get that overt smoke, but you're going to get that more campfire thing, and that's what you dig in smoked beers. There you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive beers. If you would like to check me out doing the whole, Instagrams and stuff, social medias. Beer Massive. Type that in the whole Googs to see me doing the whole podcasting thing. And, man, I wish I could talk to Dan. That would be fun. Not that I haven't tried. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little smoked beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.